Hello and welcome. My name is Errity Green and this is Wise Woman Television, and today I am bringing you a pick a card reading on your spiritual gifts and intuitive abilities. You'll notice it's Candlelight Tarot evening. This evening we'll see how long we have natural light with some dim near sunset light, dusk light, alongside candlelight. I thought that would be really special, so maybe I'll do a candlelight reading now and again for you all. So from here, I just want to share thank you for being here. If you find that you enjoy this reading, that inspires you, that you like and subscribe. You can also press the bell icon. That way you're notified every single time a new video pops up. And then I also want to let you know I do offer both personal readings as well as coaching programs to support you in your life, in your work, and on your spiritual path. And I have a profound program out right now called Spirit Woman. It's a year-long community to nurture your true nature and your highest potential. You can check out those details below or at erritygreen.com/spiritwoman. So let's go ahead and place a picture up of your 4-card pile today. This is on your spiritual gifts and intuitive abilities. So my hair, it keeps getting in my way today. We'll see how I do. All right, so card pile 1, your spiritual gifts and intuitive abilities. So it feels like you are able to communicate effectively, communicate your wisdom effectively. You might even be some kind of channeler. And I say some kind of channeler, and I put that in quotes because not everybody wants to channel, not everybody wants to channel other entities or beings, but here's the thing, you can channel yourself, you can channel your deepest wisdom, you can channel from your own source, you can channel from your higher mind, you can channel from your higher, truer self, or truest self rather. You don't have to feel like you're channeling anything else, and that's not even something I would recommend or say that you have to do. What channeling really is, or what this kind of spiritual communication is being able to communicate just like I do, like when I do these readings. It sort of takes the ego or the mind out of the way, and the information and the energy just flows. So you're capable of doing things like this. You might already know that, and then you're watching this, you're like, well, yeah, you know, I do that, or I do that with my clients, or I have my own channel, or whatever. But you might also teach, you might also speak, you might also write. Some of you convey your wisdom through your writing. So in one form or another, your communication, the way that you channel, you express yourself verbally, and this is your spiritual gift and intuitive ability. You're able to receive nudges, sources of information, we'll say downloads, insights. This is very easy for you to be able to tap into higher mind. It's something that's very easy for you. If it's not something that's happening now, please know this is growing for you and maturing for you and flowering and blossoming for you. I feel like the energy is already leading the energy is going to be sharing how you can even make this a simpler process for you. So that's showing up here in the cards, and we'll get to that in just a minute. But it feels like some of you are blossoming into this, or curious about it, and some of you might not even know completely, but you know that you're a communicator, you know that you're an effective teacher, you know that you write well, and so you're aware of this, and you're aware of this as a gift or a potential gift, and yet it feels like it's not fully blossomed or complete yet. And the reason I share that is because we have this flowering gift card. And so it's what that tells me is this is either on its way, it's underway. This ability, it's already within you, right? This is already potential inside of you. So it's just a matter of sort of tapping into that potential. And it has to do with allowing it to come through, giving yourself permission for it to come through. If you feel like you need safeguards up in order to feel protected and for this to be a safe process for you, you can set your intentions for that. You can ensure that you're being held in sacred space. You can get support to learn how to create sacred space if that's something that you're unfamiliar with. You don't have to feel like there's going to be anything else coming into your space, or that you'll be communicating something that isn't aligned with you or what you want, or what your truth is, or whatever, if that makes sense. Meaning, like, you have no reason to fear, right? This is something that you can play with and enjoy this process. You might start pulling out cards if you haven't already. Some of you who already are doing this already know this, but here's the thing. This energy feels like more of newbie or beginner, or feels like someone who's blossoming into this, who isn't fully tapped in, and it's because of perhaps stepping out of their comfort zone, because we have that card here too, where there's some kind of fear, self-doubt, worry, concern, Or it could simply be mental activity and being unable to turn off the mind long enough to just let the information flow through, because it does feel like a flow and something that you're tapping into, like a faucet. When you turn the faucet, you don't have to think about it. It's just coming through. It's pouring through. It's pouring through. It's pouring through. So some of you might be supporting your vessel, your body, your instrument in some way in order to be able to connect with the higher mind or the deepest self or your deepest wisdom or whatever, however we want to label it. So some of you might be quote unquote working on that at this time. Sometimes it does require some clearing or some growth work in order to sort of allow this channel to come through like a waterfall. You have to sometimes lift the dam so that everything can come forward. So if there are any sort of quote unquote blocks due to fear, doubts, unworthiness, those are things you might want to explore and support yourself to step out of, no longer identifying with those blocks, fears, so on and so forth, so that you can simply be playful with it and let it come through, let it show up for you, let it pass. You just have to give it permission. And this is you consciously creating and participating with spirit. You are meant to be a channeler and communicator. And again, it's like that energy of that faucet or plumbing, where what wants to come through, it just comes through so easily, like water. And then you're able to share what spirit wants to share. You're able to share what higher mind wants to share. You're also able to support that sharing of information to support the highest good, to support the greatest good. And that's a part of your path and your purpose. And I feel like not only is this something that is a spiritual gift and intuitive ability for you, it's something that's going to support the collective, that when you're fully tapped in and sharing your gift regularly, whether through speaking, teaching, writing, communicating one way or another. Some of you are on social media or will be. Some of you are on YouTube or will be. Again, I do feel like a newbie kind of energy, and that there's no judgment there, right? You're just blossoming into this. We all are blossoming into something. Everyone's going to come on here and pick a card reading. And likely, many people, those who access this reading, are seeking insight because they want to know, which means oftentimes that would mean you're a beginner, or it's the beginning for you in that way. But you're going to support the collective. You're supporting the shift for Earth, for New Earth, whatever you want to call that. We all have different terminology in that regard, but you are supporting global change. Yeah. So again, those fears, those doubts, it's time to release the negativity. This is also a matter of self-trust, of trusting yourself. This is a matter of recognizing, like owning that this is your gift, this is your spiritual power, and then creating the conditions, cultivating the conditions to be able to go there. So if you have to create sacred space or get a teacher or mentor or a guide or someone to support you, so that this isn't something you can necessarily access directly. Like, yes, once you're communicating, quote unquote, channeling regularly, yes, it just happens. But you can't like force a gift to show up, okay? Like if you recognize you do have some fears or worries, and or you have doubts or don't have a belief in your ability and so on and so forth, you can't just like go hammering at that and just hope it shows up. It's a process, and it's an evolution, and we just create the conditions, and then one day you'll find that boom, it's happening, and you didn't really plan for it. You just kind of started doing it and setting the stage and showing up and creating the conditions, and then again it just goes down like a waterfall, or breaks through the levee or whatever, to where the water just starts pouring out. So you, card pile 1, your spiritual gift and intuitive ability is tapping into higher mind, higher consciousness. It's tapping into God, Great Spirit, higher power, the eternal. It's tapping into your deepest source soul wisdom, your higher self, you could say, and communicating this, which also supports the greater changes and transformation that humans are stepping into right now as part of their spiritual evolution. So this gift is not only something personal to you, but something to share and to support the moving of the needle toward where we are headed as a collective. So excellent for you, card pile 1. That's very exciting. If this landed for you, if you liked this reading, I encourage you to like, to subscribe. Do press the bell icon. That way you receive notifications when new videos pop up. I am offering both personal readings as well as coaching programs. I have Spirit Woman out right now. It is currently enrolling. You can check out those details below, or at erritygreen.com/spiritwoman. Thank you, card pile 1. Okay, card pile 2, your spiritual gifts and intuitive abilities. I feel like you have the gift of alchemy. You have the gift of transformation, of change. You have some kind of gift to be able to move energy, shift energy, support the movement and shifting of energy, as they call it, right? Turning lead into gold, turning ego into soul, turning dark into light, fear into love. stuff of the mind into stuff of the heart. And so you have an ability to be able to support yourself, but ultimately other people. And that's really where all this is going to be headed, is in service, what your contribution is, how you are meant to show up, what you're meant to share, and you are meant to support you, but also other people. Your gift really is to help other people, and it is to alchemize and shift energy toward their highest good, toward the highest good. So you're an alchemizer. An alchemizer. Is that a word? A transmuter. You're someone who can help people transform. You're someone who can help support someone to shift from limitation into limitlessness, right? From fear into love, dark into light. You might support people to be able to work through their shadows, shadow work, subconscious work, inner healing work, integration work, being able to see. You might be able to see what they cannot see. You might be able to easily pinpoint people's blind spots or their ego structures, or show them where they're in a pattern or they're walking the line of limitation. You're able to point out their familial and generational cycles that are holding them back. You're able to see very clearly where they're telling themselves lies, illusions, and falsehoods. You're easily able to show someone where they, again, are occupying limitation, where they are holding themselves back or believing themselves small or acting small. You're able to support them to make that shift from something that is more small or limited, or smaller and limited, to something that is more limitless and expansive. Excuse my words today. I'm really trying to keep up with what's coming through here. So you are someone who can do this work. I would imagine if that's the case, then you have also been through this process and this journey in one way or another, in some form or another, on your path and your journey. So you've perhaps faced a lot of fear, or I'm even feeling like for some of you, addiction, or more difficult, like that raw primal humanity, that those parts of us that are sort of held back, either in trauma, or that are have succumbed to some kind of subconscious drive or influence, compulsion, obsession, things like that, victimhood. But you might have experienced that for yourself and then had to shift out of these energies, which is why and how you're now able to then offer it to others. But you have tapped into this. Now, if you are in the old energy of still feeling like that you're in the space of victimhood or codependency, or whatever any one of these smaller, more limited energies are, that kind of keep you held back or tied to a particular identity or a particular pattern of the past, then this reading is telling you that you're perfectly capable of breaking through. Let me show you the card here. You're perfectly capable of breaking through, and that's actually your spiritual gift and your intuitive ability. Again, you're also able to see where people are limiting themselves, where they are acting small, as they say, or holding themselves back, or not operating their fullest, most expansive expression or self. You're able to guide them. You're able to support them in this way. You might not be doing that yet if you're on the process, or on the path doing it for yourself, but eventually or ultimately this is something that you can offer, whether now or in the future. Yeah, so again, this is part of your contribution, and recognize, for those of you who might be scared or doubting or unsure or uncertain of your abilities, it's not showing up with the camera here, but it says work through your fears. There is an opportunity or an invitation to work through these fears of self-doubt, of second guessing or questioning yourself. And part of the guidance here is recognizing that this isn't even about you, right? It's about your contribution, about your service, what you're here to do, share, and the change you get to make in the world. When we sort of step outside of our own ego with the whole thing, and we're not putting it on ourselves or making it about ourselves, it's much easier to then move forward. And when you recognize this is just your gift, this is something you're meant to share, this is a contribution you're meant to share, this is a part of the collective and collective evolution, this is about your contribution and your service way more than it's about you, or what you think you're not good at, or what you think you can't do, or what you think you're incapable of. When you start to see that and recognize that for what it is, and realize that's just the small self-talking, and it's really irrelevant to your service, you just have to step into the work that you do and take yourself out of it, it's much more easy to step into your purpose path, your purpose work, your spiritual gifts and abilities, and then be of service to support people in that way. Yeah, so you're being asked to believe in the impossible, okay? So some of you all have recognized this in yourself in some way, but there is some inner conflict going on, some fighting within yourself, I feel like some of you are still battling the old energy yourself, and so these old patterns and things from the past and stuff like that, you're still battling it yourself, so you're not even considering yet, oh, this is something that I can do, or this is my spiritual power, and let me share it with other people. But that's why you doubt yourself. But once you're able to overcome this and master it for yourself, and also recognizing this is your breakthrough and it's also your work in the world, once you recognize that, it might very well give you that motivation, push, or nudge to be able to move through and navigate this energy for yourself, and then also be able to share it with others. So this is for you. And you might be someone too who's pretty traditional in a lot of ways. Like maybe if you're on this channel, obviously you're spiritually awakened in some regard. You're conscious to a degree to be able to even click on this or find this video. But I feel some of you do have more traditional mindset or awareness. This might be new to you. So where you're kind of questioning whether or not this is real or true, or if you do have a spiritual gift, you're not really sure. You might even not even just be questioning you, but questioning the whole thing. So you might be working through a lot of that, right? You're working through the old ego stuff, old mindsets, old approaches, old ways of knowing the world. And you're being asked to work through that and to navigate this energy, because on the other side, first of all, you can break through it anytime, and it's showing and it's saying that you're very much able to transform this and step out of that old energy very clearly. Clearly, this is a gift for you. Transmutation, alchemy, energy work, shamanism, what else? Integration, healing, inner work. If you don't know what that is, right, or you're new to that path, or you haven't yet dove into all of that in a really deep way. I feel like some of you have, but many of you have not quite yet. Then you might read a book or read an article or Google it or whatever, and follow the path that unfolds before you of least resistance, because that flow is going to guide you exactly where you need to go. It's going to support you to shift in and out of this if you haven't already. And this is what you would then be of service. This is how you'd be of service, or how you contribute to the collective. So card pile two, your spiritual gift and intuitive ability is being able to tap into someone's experience of limitation and support them to shift out of that, from old energy to new energy, to something that feels more limiting to something more expansive. And you're able to do that. You've also done it for yourself, and or you are doing it for yourself. You're in the process. You're able to support people with incredible breakthrough and transformation. So that's your gift, card pile 2. If this landed for you, if it resonates for you, I encourage you to share below, to like, subscribe, press the bell icon. That way you're notified when new videos pop up. I do offer both personal readings as well as coaching programs. Spirit Woman is enrolling now. You can check out those details below, or at my website, erritygreen.com/spiritwoman. Thank you, card pile 2. Okay, so card pile 3, we're candlelight here, very much at the latter portion of dusk. We'll see how long we have some natural light. Otherwise, I'll get more candles. I wanted this to be a candlelight reading for fun. We'll do this every once in a while. So card pile 3, you're reading your spiritual gifts and intuitive abilities. So you're able to manifest. You're a master manifester. You're able to create whatever it is you want to create, produce outcomes, results, bring about change in your life, bring about shifts in your life. You're able to bring forward physical, tangible results. You're able to manifest opportunities and the right people at the right time. You're able to create money. If you need money, you're able to like easily figure out a way to get it. You're able to, if you think of something, like it doesn't matter what it is. Like if you think of something, you're the type of person that you've experienced in your life that suddenly it shows up or it lands in your realm somehow, or that someone reaches out to you and says, hey, have you heard of blank? Or hey, I have something random at my house and I just thought of you. But you're able to sort of manifest whatever it is that you want. And even if it's like a large thing and you haven't yet manifested it, and you're like, yeah, I've done that with small things, but not really big things, you are able to manifest whatever you want. So you certainly could, if you so desired or decided, you could create and manifest your bigger vision. What that would require of you is setting that game plan for yourself, and then taking those steps, and your manifestation process will be relatively easy. So your spiritual gift and intuitive ability is sort of this ease, this flow, this ease of manifestation, this gracefulness that and even acceleration, you're able to experience and manifest things at a much more rapid pace than most people. Let me see if I can get some better light here. I hope that helps. Yeah, that's a little bit better. So one second, let me see what I can do for the light. Okay, so hopefully that's a little bit better, and it'll last us at least till where we need it. So you're a master manifester. You can create what you want. Luck is on your side. So people have probably told you, or you've still noticed with yourself, gosh, I'm really lucky. I'm pretty fortunate. You know, all I have to do is kind of think about something. Someone shows up. Like, let me give you an example of someone who's a great manifester. So in my life, one of the people that I dated and even married and was with for many, many years, He was the kind of person that he would want like an Xbox One, for example, and like a week later, a friend would show up with a gift, like an Xbox One. I'm not even kidding you. Whether it was a date or it was an item or an object, it didn't matter what it was. An opportunity, a new job, he was able to manifest like that. He pretty much just set the intention in the ether, and then boom, one way or another, he was given the opportunity, the right person at the right time showed up. They said, oh, hey, check this out. This is what I've got. Now, you might notice that it got really loud. I don't know if that's the case for you, but it's a pretty heavy downpour outside right now. So if for some reason the sound changed, I encourage you to get headphones. I apologize for that. There's really not much I can do about it. But you're a master manifestor. Now, here's what it's showing, though. It's showing like you've always sort of used this gift for yourself, and you've been able to experience some results and outcomes and kind of experience what it is that you want for yourself. But all of these card piles are very much showing me and pointing to the fact that each of these are gifts that you're meant to share, gifts that you're meant to contribute. This is how you're meant to show up in the world and what you're meant to share. This is your contribution. It's not just about what you can manifest for yourself. And I think you've come to know that fortune is on your side, or you're pretty lucky when it comes to being able to create something or bring something into your life. But now this is something to do with service, like how you can contribute, how you're meant to share this with people if you're not already. Now, here's the thing. What it's saying is part of your ability to manifest is because of your emotional intensity. So you might consider yourself a fire sign. You might consider yourself a water sign. You don't have to be those signs. You might not even relate to that. But you're the type of person that one of the reasons you're able to manifest is because you have a feeling behind what it is that you want. So you have a lot of emotional power behind the things that you desire. Now, here's the thing, though. A lot of you guys could be like, Errity, you are insane. I'm a terrible manifestor, and I only manifest, unfortunate circumstances and difficult problems and so on and so forth. Like, I manifest, but I manifest shit. So if that's the case, it's because you're putting like anger, fear, guilt, that kind of energy behind what you don't want. Okay, so it's saying if that's the case, all you have to do is flip it. Start being really excited about and passionate about and thrilled about, and putting a lot of energy behind the things that you do want. So if you've experienced a life of shit, basically, and that's really like overdoing it, the simplification there, I doubt that's the case. But if you're saying that to Errity, you're nuts, like this is not my life at all, this is way off base. If you're saying that to yourself, and I feel a portion of you are, maybe 25% of you, it's because you haven't yet used it toward the direction that you desire. You've been giving a lot of anger and upset and disappointment and fear and stuff like that to the things that you don't want. So you experience a lot of that, and you're like, gosh, I have a pretty tough life. And you're like, this lady is nuts when she's saying I can manifest whatever I want. All you got to do is shift it. You can put that emotional energy behind whatever it is you actually want. Put your energy behind that. It will manifest. This is the gift that's available to you. This is your spiritual gift and your intuitive ability. Yeah, and it's saying that some of you, again, are like, Errity, you're nuts. I can't manifest, or I haven't manifested just yet. We're getting that same energy again. I haven't shown you, I don't think, a lot of the cards, but partly because it's Candelight tonight. Let me see what I can show you here. Luck is on your side. The Creator. We have emotional intensity. A time to give rather than take. So it's not just about manifesting for you and what you want. It's about manifesting for the whole, for the collective. What is aligned with higher mind, with divine will? What supports the one, the whole, and the all? That's where you're meant to be putting your energy. I feel like card pile 3, a lot of your manifesting so far has been self-serving. That's okay, especially if you had a difficult road. You're like, shoot, I want a morsel before I hand it off to everybody else. I get all that. And what you're going to find is that you can manifest pretty much anything that you want once you've made this shift from kind of lower, denser vibrations to higher frequencies and vibrations, and once you've aligned with divine will. Okay, so your dreams need a practical plan. So if you are emotional, you might, or emotionally centered, or you find that you tend to be, you might see that, again, you're able to manifest things, but it's like sometimes, or it's like all quote unquote bad stuff, like we already talked about, or it's like here or there. And again, it's because you might operate in bursts or, kind of seasons or moods. And so it's like the pendulum can swing back and forth, and you never know where you are. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Again, it's being intentional with your focus, intentional with your manifestations, intentional with your emotional energy, and then creating a plan and showing up for that plan, because it is going to show up for you. And then it's saying, let go of the outcome. I like how for you, card pile 3, it's not only telling you your spiritual gift and intuitive ability, it's telling you exactly how to work it so that this works for you. So what that tells me is maybe your manifestation ability hasn't always worked for you, if it's having to tell you this, or it's showing you how to refine your process. And then it's saying, and then you let go of the outcome. You let it be, you give your attention to your present activity, to your present moment, to what's going on in your world, and then poof, something will show up. The opportunity, the person, the place, the thing, right time, right place, right person, it's going to show up. So for you, you guys are master manifestors. This is your spiritual gift and intuitive ability. You're able to create things out of thin air, opportunities, objects, your vision, whatever. But for the larger visions, it will require a plan. And then you have to harness your emotional energy and put it behind what it is that you want and behind the action steps that you're taking. And then it's saying, recognize that you'll have more power behind your manifestations when you're also aligned with divine will. So how are you going to serve the collective? How are you going to contribute to the collective? How are you going to contribute to evolution and to others through your manifesting ability? So this is your reading, card pile 3. If this resonates for you, if it inspired you, I encourage you to share so below. Like, subscribe, press the bell icon. That way you are notified when new videos pop up. I do offer personal readings, as you know, as well as coaching programs. Spirit Woman is enrolling now. You can check out those details below or at my website, erritygreen.com/spiritwoman. Okay, card pile 4, your spiritual gifts and abilities. We are doing Candelight Tarot, like I said earlier. We are running out of natural light, but I have plenty of candles, hoping that it lasts long enough to get us through the reading. And I do have a downpour going on right now as well. So I hope the sound is good for you. If it isn't, please get some headphones. I don't always require that, but on days where there are other noises, there's not much I can do but suggest that you get headphones. Okay, so let me see here. I'm just checking in with the energy that's here, and my power just went out. You guys are here for a good time, let me tell you. And then it came back on. Please, power, let's stay. I'm trying to cook tonight. I mean, come on now. Sometimes my power goes out here and then it stays off for like 12 hours. Okay, so, which is kind of funny because maybe this is relevant somehow to your reading. But give me a moment to adjust, only because the power went out and I want to sit with your cards for just a second. Okay, so card pile 4, I feel like you are able to quiet the mind, to still the mind, and come into a deep place of meditation, contemplation, stillness, where you aren't fully, you're not working from the mind, you're working from awareness itself, from consciousness itself. You're really able to tap into spirit. You're able to tap into the ether, to the divine will. You're able to see clearly, and I can almost feel you, like when you close your eyes and you go deeply enough, and the thoughts pass, and the busyness of the day passes, or any kind of a baggage or whatever that you're holding on to, that you can easily sort of detach from that stuff. This is oftentimes a practiced skill set. I would imagine you're well practiced in this and well versed, and you're here and you're finding out and getting confirmation on that, or that you're being told or shown or guided. What's the word I'm trying to say? Shown that this is an opportunity for you. This is a potential for you, and this is something to work toward. But it's almost like you can feel the pulse of the universe. It's like you kind of can tap into the spider web of all things, and you kind of feel a little tap over here, or a tap over here. But you're able to feel sort of the impulses and impressions of the universe, the flow that's available. Like you're even able to feel, I feel like at some level or eventually, timelines or potentials. You're able to feel which path is of least resistance, with which path is of most resistance. You're able to feel the right choices or next steps for you, because you're able to feel what has a lot of, again, flow in it, and then versus those things that feel a little bit more convoluted or difficult. You're able to feel energy, and you're able to really tap in. So a lot of you are very well versed, practiced, or skilled meditators, or you will be. Your mindfulness might be your thing, meditation might be your thing, but I feel like you can really easily loosen the experience of the egoic realm, of the material world, of the attachments of the material world, of thoughts, of ideas. You're really able to sort of distance yourself enough from that and be in this space of the ether, of divine will, of divine consciousness. You're able to see, again, kind of like you know, the threads of things, or like, I'm trying to think of how I want to describe what I'm feeling, but it's like being able to be pulled in certain directions and notice sort of what is of ego and what's of soul, you know, what's of limitation, what's of spirit. You're able to gain really precise clarity and knowingness and connection as a result of your deep connection, and that might be very well be what it is, and I'm glad that word landed here. That spiritual gift and intuitive ability of deep spiritual connection, of deep spiritual communion, of letting go of ego, limited self, of egoic structures, of thoughts, ideas, all that stuff that's sort of mental, or even the things that are emotional or whatever, sort of able to let that gently glide away. And it doesn't feel like a forced thing. It's just like you're able to step into this beautiful place where you might call it sacred space or your working space, or how you might feel at a retreat or in ceremony or during yoga. Because if you haven't experienced this for yourself yet, you might be like, well, I don't even see what she means. I haven't experienced that. I feel like most of you have. But for the few that or the small minority that haven't experienced it at all, know that it's something that you can find in those areas, and then you'll start to recognize what it is that I'm talking about, and then you'll realize, you know, what kind of practices and activities can fully support you, what conditions support that space. It's like spaciousness, the gift of deep presence, the gift of the witness, the gift of deep spiritual alignment, connecting with the cosmos, with great spirit. So your intuitive gift and spiritual ability is that spiritual connection, that spiritual communion. So you're able to connect with that force of love, that force of deep presence. And here's where I feel like the spiritual gift and intuitive ability is highly supportive. So each of these piles, it's been very clear that it's really service oriented and contribution oriented. I feel like you're meant to share this gift, the space of the neutral witness, the space of egolessness, the space of deep presence, the space of deep compassion, that space where when we're not occupying our own limited self, or the space of the ego and its thoughts and its ideas and its projections and all the things that it knows or thinks it knows or whatever, we're able to really, again, tap into that divine awareness, divine consciousness, divine will, and we're able to, a number of things, hold a deep space of healing for people, and that's what's showing here. This is your gift to share. Take a look how she's sharing, and it says a time for healing. You're able to really support people to heal, and it's for a number of reasons, and I'll finish this with these final thoughts here of your presence alone is healing. Because you're able to hold this space and hold the space of egolessness, you're able to hold a mirror for people where they're able to see themselves clearly. You're also able to help people heal because you can hold this unconditional presence. So if you've ever sort of had pent up grief or anger or frustration or upset or disappointment or something, and then you go see your mom, a lot of people, they go to their mom for this, or they experience it with their mom, but can also be healers. It can be any number of people who show up in our lives and they hold such beautiful unconditional presence. What happens? We start sobbing. All they have to do is say hi, or all they have to do is say how are you, or all they have to do is look at you and you just start sobbing, right? So that's the kind of energy that you bring to the table, or that you can tap into and bring to the table. It is sort of that embodiment, right? Jesus, Buddha, they were able to embody this presence, and that's all they had to do, and people were healed from their ailments, people were cured, people were able to heal like that, right? All old egoic structures and limiting beliefs and wounds and wounding and all that stuff were able to be dissolved instantaneously. Now, I'm not saying you're enlightened or going to be embodied like Jesus or Buddha in this life. It's altogether possible, but you are able to hold well enough space that you do support people in their healing. They feel safe with you, and they're able to release that pain, or release those old attachments, or those old aspects of their identity that are holding them back in some way, or bringing them pain, or preventing them from moving forward in some way. So you're able to hold up a mirror. They can see themselves clearly, know themselves more clearly, because your ego isn't in the way. There's nothing really to bounce off of. You're just unconditional presence. So in that space, they're able to gain whatever revelation, epiphany, insight, whatever it is that they need, they'll be able to gather. It's like that, being that clear channel almost. Just by you being present, they're able to tap into that. You're also able to heal in holding this space, because people are able to, again, clear out those old egoic structures, old pains, old wounding, limited beliefs, so on and so forth, or limiting beliefs, they're able to, that stuff sort of just falls away, dissolves, clears. You know, they might even have an emotional response. But you're able to hold such a deep space of love, of presence, unconditional presence, this consciousness or whatever, that you really are able to support people in their healing. And I feel like that's what you're here to do, card pile 4, if you didn't know that. So your spiritual gift and intuitive ability is being able to not only have that deep spiritual connection and communion, to where you step out of ego into egolessness or selflessness, but you're able to really connect with divine and hold this presence in such a beautiful way that other people are served by it. They not only are able to connect with God, Great Spirit, Cosmos, Universe through connecting with you, they feel seen, they feel heard, they feel loved, they feel witnessed, but also they're able to heal and clear and release those, any kind of old things, whatever it is, right? There's a million different one things that could be the case, but they're able to successfully sort of feel that, to mend their heart, to do that healing. And they're also able to see and know themselves clearly as a result of your unconditional presence. If you've ever been with someone who can holds this space, it's like even just being there, you gain what you need, right? Whatever gems are meant to be conveyed or afforded are easily gathered or gained. You also oftentimes feel an emotional response. Whatever needs to be cleared is cleared. Whatever needs to be known is known, revealed, right? So on and so forth. Whatever needs to happen within the space of, you know, the divine is what will come forward in the space that you hold and the embodiment that you occupy. So that is your spiritual gift, card pile 4. I just wanted to share a final afterthought that came through when I was closing up shop, and I feel like it brings the reading full circle and brings that closure or completion to the reading. And so what came through is essentially you're a shaman, a shamaness, modern medicine woman, modern medicine man. You might consider yourself a wise woman, a wise man. You might consider yourself a spiritual teacher or a spiritual healer. So all in all, with everything that was shared, your spiritual gift and your intuitive ability is to be that spiritual teacher, to be that spiritual leader, to be the unconditional presence, to be that guide. And through your work and your deep sense and space of presence, you're able to bring about additional benefits to the people that you serve, or even just the people that you know and love. So that's your spiritual gift and intuitive ability. Thank you, card pile 4. If this landed for you, resonates for you, inspires you, I encourage you to like, to subscribe, to share your feedback in the comments. I'd love to hear from you either way. Also, press the bell icon if you'd like to receive notifications regularly on ongoing videos and readings when they come up. And I do want to let you know I offer both personal readings as well as coaching programs. Right now I have Spirit Woman, it's enrolling. You can check out those details below or at my website, erritygreen.com/spiritwoman. Thank you, card pile 4. You're a healer. That's what it is. You are a healer, card pile 4.